ran all the way, just to reach the dormitory before curfew. Daffy, who was far ahead, kept urging Anna to go faster. She daringly even took off her high heels. The foolish Daffy, cheering for Anna's progress, accidentally spilled the box of rice cakes in her hand, and the rice cakes rolled all the way down the slope. On one side was the dormitory about to close its doors. On the other side was the rice cake made by her grandmother's own hands. After some inner struggle, the silly Daffy ultimately chose to retrieve her grandmother's rice cakes. Meanwhile, inside the dormitory, chaos ensued, as everyone hurried back to their rooms, waiting for the dormitory supervisor to call attendance. Anna barely made it back to the dormitory at the last minute, but Daffy, because she was busy picking up the rice cakes, missed the closing time. Helpless, she climbed up the dormitory's outer wall in the cold wind, desperate to make it back to her room before the dormitory supervisor's inspection. But at that moment, the dormitory supervisor had already started the rounds. Outside the window, Daffy could only hold onto the vines, gradually moving step by step. Daffy had just reached a dormitory with an open window when the dormitory supervisor arrived at the scene. Daffy was frightened and crouched beneath the window, afraid to even breathe. Her right leg, supporting her, was trembling nervously, for a moment's carelessness could result in a fall from the building. At the same time, the dormitory supervisor's attention was drawn to the window. Upon hearing Daffy's footsteps, Daffy hastily moved her hand behind a flower pot, and luckily escaped the inspection. At the moment Daffy poked her head out, Luna, who was conducting the inspection, happened to see her, and Daffy looked at her with a pleading expression. Luna, constrained by the dormitory supervisor's authority, felt powerless, and could only pray for her silently. Fortunately, Daffy managed to climb outside the dormitory window before the dormitory supervisor conducted the inspection. Inside the dormitory, the three girls were in the midst of a heated argument caused by Daffy. They were all dumbfounded when they noticed Daffy. Luna saw that the dormitory supervisor was about to conduct the inspection, so she rushed up and blocked her path, and in a moment of inspiration, she started shouting loudly. As soon as those words were spoken, the entire girls' dormitory instantly descended into chaos. The girls seized the opportunity, quickly opening the window and helping Daffy inside. Taking advantage of the girls' confusion, they hurriedly wiped Daffy's face, feet, and changed her pajamas. This series of actions flowed smoothly and swiftly. Finally, at that moment, the dormitory supervisor couldn't bear it any longer. The mother tiger roared. Everyone immediately retreated to their rooms. Luna, who caused the chaos, not only received a scolding from the dorm supervisor, but was also ordered to catch that mouse. The dorm supervisor arrived at Daffy's room for an inspection. Upon entering, they found Daffy sweating profusely. Nervously, Daffy explained that they were rushing to meet the curfew, running all the way back. In this women's university, there is an unwritten rule. If the dormitory has accumulated 3 instances of returning late, then everyone in the dormitory will be kicked out. The dorm supervisor reminded the girls that they only have one chance left. After successfully sending away the dorm supervisor, the girls finally breathed a sigh of relief, because at school, they are under strict surveillance and control by the dorm supervisor. Besides receiving letters, the girls' most anticipated things every day are answering phone calls, which is their only way to contact the outside world on campus. To repay Luna's life-saving favor, Daffy decided to accompany her to work. At that moment, Daffy received a phone call, specifically asking for Anna from room 207. Their purpose this time was to have a gathering with the girls from room 207. Upon hearing about the gathering, Luna's eyes sparkled with excitement. Both of them were thrilled and ecstatic. Daffy noted down the time and location, and kindly reminded the caller. The boy on the other end was so happy that he almost fainted. But Daffy faced a dilemma. Judy in the dorm is a tomboy. She definitely wouldn't go. Unexpectedly, Luna volunteered herself, even though she's not a student at the school, just a telephone operator responsible for answering calls. Saying so, Luna pretended to cry and act pitiful. Being soft-hearted, Daffy had no choice but to ask Anna, but she strongly objected. Another roommate also didn't like Luna's behavior. Daffy tried every trick in the book, and successfully flattered Anna to the extreme. Finally Anna gave in. Soon the day of the gathering arrived. The boys arrived early at the cafe, eagerly anticipating. After waiting for several rounds of disappointment, the girls finally arrived. Slowly and gracefully, Anna took the initiative to greet them. Tim suddenly stood up, and the matchstick tower he just built collapsed in an instant.